Good day, my billionaire friends. I hope you're comfortable. Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about 4 businesses that traders usually do or engage in to create active or passive cash flow for them while trading. Now, we're going to be listing all the businesses, but you should know that in the last video, we talked about the things that Forex traders do that they mostly do not tell anyone, or they do not tell their mentees, and we're able to explain some of these things. And we got a whole lot of reaction from many people talking about what kind of businesses Forex traders should engage in that will create steady cash flow for them when they finally make the big break or when they withdraw a lump sum of money. Now, we're going to be talking about these 4 businesses, and we're going to be going into the detail of each and every one of them as much as possible. So stick to the end of this video. If you haven't liked this video, make sure you like it when you are satisfied with the content of this video. And if you're not subscribed yet to this channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can get notification when you turn it on for more videos like this and when we put out content like this, okay? And if you have any question, of course, feel free to ask a question in the comment section, and we're going to do justice to that. Now, the first business that Forex traders usually engage in or should engage in that is going to yield in consistent cash flow is real estate. Yes, I know a whole lot of you would have heard real estate, and you've heard a lot of scams in real estate, which is one of the main reasons why I would advise you to do your own due diligence before you engage in that business. Now, real estate could be in various forms. For some Forex traders, when they make large sums of money, they go into Airbnb. So they build an apartment and they're able to rent it out so that people can use their apartment to stay for a while and then pay for a short period. So they get short-lets or Airbnb apartments. For some others, they build hotels. For some others, they build a whole house and then they can rent it out and get cash flow on a steady base. So whatever way or whatever form of real estate you engage in, make sure it's something that you've done your own due diligence in. Or if you do not have the good knowledge about it, try and get someone you can trust. All right, there are lots of companies that have been scammed, and then there's some others that people are shy or afraid of engaging in. So make sure it's a company that you trust and that has a good reputation, that can manage your money well, and then you could engage in real estate and you'll be able to generate steady and consistent cash flow for yourself aside trading, because you know trading capital sometimes can be very, very unstable. So one day you are up, the next day you're down. So to be able to create consistent cash flow for yourself, you can engage in real estate, which is one thing that I believe is safe. And for some other people, they do land banking. Now, we may not be able to share all the whole information about the business of real estate here. So I would advise you look out for people who have good information and good knowledge about this business so that you can engage in it and then generate consistent cash flow. Now, if you're doing all these things, when you have a lump sum of money, or now that you have a lump sum of money, or the time you finally hit it big in Forex, you would know where you can put your money in. Now, for some people, they might be thinking real estate is way too expensive for them to engage in. Well, we have 3 other businesses we're going to cover, so you can find out which one is going to stick or which one is going to serve you better based on your capital. All right. Now, let's move to the second one. The second one is very important, but trust me, we're saving the best for the last. So let's move to the second one. The second one is money market. Now, aside trading Forex, as per trading Forex pairs, currency pairs, synthetic indices, and the likes, there is also another type of instrument that is being traded, and the risk in that one is very low, and usually the returns are not as big, but then they are good and they are consistent over time. Now, you can engage in the money market. Now, we're talking about federal government bonds, we're talking about ETFs, we're talking about mutual funds and the likes. We're talking about stocks in various companies that you like and whose shares are performing very wonderfully well. So you can engage in that. All right, we can give you a guide if you need that. That is something I'm actively engaging. You can leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll show you how I'm able to invest in that. Now, this is not all the Ponzi scheme that you've known prior to now, or the scams of investment. This is an actual investment backed by the federal government and managed by banks. We're talking about big banks or multinational banks, or even local banks in your various communities. So If you're in Nigeria, you're familiar with Access Bank, UBA, and the likes. So these are the banks that manage your funds on your behalf. So there are lots of them where you can put in some amount of money and then you'll be getting about 18% a year. So if it's for mutual funds, I can recommend some for you. There is Stanbic, there is Afri Invest, there is the one on PiggyVest. That is for those who are in Nigeria. If we are able to get some other options for those who are outside of Nigeria, we can recommend that for you. So they usually make about 18%, 20% in a year. So you can be getting 2% of your capital every year, 1.5 to 2% of your capital every month rather. So, and then when you accumulate it, it gets to about 20% in a year. This is something that you can do as a Forex trader, and then you'll be getting steady cash flow every month into your account, okay? For the other one, which is the federal government bonds, it comes in different tenor. There is the 3 months tenor, which is 1 quarter. There's a half-year tenor, which is 6 months, and there's 1 full-year tenor, which is about 12 months. All right. Each tenor has different percentage that they give. So you can go for the 1 year tenor, which gives about 19% or 20%. Sometimes it gets up to 24% in a year rather. So you can do that and then get your cash flow available to you. That one is this particular one is usually backed by the government. It's like you're lending the government some money so that the government can use it to do other things they want to do. And then when the time of maturity reaches, they have a full guarantee of paying you back. This is something I've tried many times. And most of the things I'm telling you, I've tried them and I know some of the ropes around it, so you should also try it. So you can try traditional instruments and see how you can grow your money and generate consistent cash flow for yourself as a trader. Now, the third business, which is something that many people ignore, is agriculture. Now, there are various forms of agriculture as a business that you can engage in that can actually help you as a trader. You can go into agricultural storage, and of course, just like trading, it has its upside, it has its downside. But when you see the upside, it could give or yield good potential. All right, you could buy maybe a bag of maize or a bag of beans for say, just an example, you can buy it for like 30,000, and when it gets to a good price, then you can sell it for like 90,000. So you see, it's basically the same buying and selling we're doing in Forex. But sometimes these ones are safer and they are tangible assets. You can actually see them, feel them, touch them as you can. All right, so you can go into agricultural storage. You can go into actual banking where you lease a land or you purchase a land and then you plant the crops that you want to plant there, knowing different crops for different seasons, and then allow it to grow. But if you're not so good or you're not so knowledgeable about that, get someone who is knowledgeable. Try and fund it with a little amount so you can test and see how it actually works. So all these things I'm saying, make sure you start with a little amount, see how it works, and then you can scale up later. So for agriculture, full-time agriculture, you can get the land on lease, you can get the land on full purchase, and then you plant some crop, especially some crops that grow very well and people love in your region. In Nigeria here, one of the crops we love rice, we love maize, we love beans, and then for some fruits that we love watermelon, we love pineapple, we love pawpaw. So you can go into actual agriculture where you lease the land and then you produce or you plant the crops and allow them to grow using any of these crops that I've mentioned. But if you're not knowledgeable about it, you can get someone who is and then fund them, watch it over time and see how it goes. Try and start with a small amount so you can learn the ropes. Now, another part of agriculture is buying agricultural produce from a region where it is actually cheaper and transporting it to a region where it is much more appreciated in price, so you could sell. So you can buy some crops in the north and then take them down south and sell off. If you have someone who is doing all this, then it kind of get better for you. All right, so you could go and look out for some apps like Affex and then some other agricultural commodities app where you can see all these things, and then you can actually try and invest a little amount of money. I'm specifying a little amount of money on these things so that you can try it and see how it works, and then you can generate consistent cash flow from it afterwards. A lot of traders are doing this, but they usually do not share this information with everyone on a regular basis. So it's not part of the course you've bought or the training you've taken, but these are the things that I'm willing to share with you so that you could come out profitable at the end of the day. Now, on to the big one, the fourth and the final one, which is one of the businesses that I've seen so many Forex traders engaging in, and it's generating cash flow for them on a regular basis, is a fashion business. The basic needs of humans are shelter, feeding, clothing, These are like the three basic needs of every human being. So you can see that all these businesses I've mentioned revolve around them. For shelter, we covered real estate. So real estate is around one of the basic needs of humans. It is generally perceived as a positive income business, all right? So real estate is very important. The second one, which is feeding, agriculture has covered that. So we mentioned agriculture as one of the businesses you can do as a forex trader to generate cash flow for yourself. And then the next one, which is clothing. Now we're talking about fashion. It is one of the basic needs of human beings to have themselves clothed. And now that we're also bringing luxury into fashion for the sake of massaging or satisfying some people's ego, or making sure that some people feel good about themselves by the kind of clothes they wear, you can see that the fashion business is becoming profitable. Now, one of the richest or wealthiest people in the world, which is Bernard Arnault, surprisingly, he's into the fashion business, although he has some other things that he does, but then he has fashion business, all right? That is like the main thing, the LV brand, which is the main thing that he runs. So generally, you can see so many forex traders are going into fashion businesses, mostly luxury fashion businesses, because that is like the most profitable. When you're able to go into that kind of business, the markups are usually high because they get good materials at a good price and then use their skill or the skill of other people who can produce good designs, and then they're able to make good clothes and sell out to those people who are around them. Now, if you remember in the previous videos, I talked about how that your forex mentors are networking with one another while their students are fighting and bashing one another. When they are able to create these businesses, they are able to have customers from other camps. They're able to have customers from other trading cycles. They're able to get customers from other traders and other forex mentors. This way, they have people who are going to patronize them because they've built a community already. They'll have people who are going to patronize these businesses that they are doing. So if you see one who has opened a fashion brand, usually when they're about to have the product launch or the launch of the brand, they invite so many other forex traders who come around and patronize them and tell others about them. Okay, so it could be bespoke clothing, it could be traditional wears, it could be casual wears, any kind of wear. If you have someone who has a good knowledge about fashion, you can get the person involved and then brainstorm with the person on how to start a business around fashion, because that is like one of the high yielding income businesses that forex traders engage in. And if you're able to do this successfully, I believe you're going to come out profitable at the end of the day. Now, the reason why I've been mentioning all these businesses is so that you understand how forex traders make their money, how they get money to fund their accounts, how they trade it, and then what they do with the large sum of money that you see them making. Because they're not going to buy food alone or clothes alone with all those monies. They're going to invest it in things like this that I've mentioned to you, and to generate steady cash flow for themselves so that they will not depend on trading alone. Now, I'm going to give you one more, which is a bonus point or a bonus idea that you could try and explore, which is also a little bit tied to hospitality business, but it's separated in another light if you look at it, which is nightlife and relaxation. Some people have engaged in nightlife, maybe running a club, running a bar, running a joint, where people are able to purchase things that they use to satisfy their cravings. It could be grilled fish, it could be drinks, it could be different kind of things that people do around the nightlife business, or around leisure businesses like having an eatery, having a pool, having a garden where people can come in, spend time, purchase stuff, and then go, and then always come back again. These kind of businesses usually generate income, and forex traders are trooping into these businesses and making profit from it. So if you have a good amount of money, or you're planning to make a good amount of money from forex trading, these are the business ideas you should be considering, because these are like the highest profit yielding business ideas that forex traders engage in. And you see them living a lavish lifestyle, knowing that forex is bringing the lump sum and these businesses are generating cash flow for them. I know this video was helpful to you, and this is like an eye-opener to some people. If it was helpful, make sure you leave a like and a comment sharing with us the idea you might be running with, or the one that is an eye-opener to you. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do and click on the notification bell so that you get a notification whenever we drop the next episode, okay, or another video like this. Thank you very much for watching till this point. We're going to be seeing in the next video, where we're going to be sharing more valuable insights and more valuable ideas with you around forex trading and personal finance. My name is CJ, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Until then, cheers and God bless.